Dang it. Sweet. Iron Storm. I am, of course, the Dread Canary. There is my logo in the lower right-hand side. No face this time, because I don't feel like it. Regardless, where we are at is Prestige 2. This is our second round of Prestige 2 on this current season up against the Iron Storm, where if I lose, I have to delete all progress and play again from the beginning. And of course, we play every difficulty twice, and we go until we die with the hope of eventually beating Prestige 20. I have a for fun game in which I practice Prestige games, which is currently up to Prestige 9, and it gets annoying and long. So we will see what that does to the length of these videos once we get there, because once we get into the harder difficulties, though, that length will get balanced by the fact that I'll be trying to win earlier. Regardless, we are currently in second place against factions in the first year in which factions have been introduced, one which should, in theory, be very easy for me to win. So I do want to block the Brass Order from getting any more points. I successfully blocked the Vanguard of the Stolen Keys previously, so they should be far enough behind that they cannot get any points. The First Dawn Company doesn't win unless something goes horribly wrong. They just consistently don't score many points. I don't know what's going on there, which means we've got to go after the Brass Order. And on top of that, we can block them by going here or anywhere adjacent to it. Now, the problem with colonizing next to someone is that you see how this little food icon here is grayed out down at the bottom? I can't hover my cursor over it because it disappears, but like right here, there's a grayed out icon. And that's to show that you will not get any food supplies for there. Now the thing is, I want to play on the Cursed Royal Woodlands, which means there's 2 of those. So long term, this might be a dumb idea, because I am putting myself behind on an already limited resource run. And just to confirm where we are at, we've got 13 games won, 0 games lost. We've won 100%, exactly as you'd expect on an Iron Man run. We've spent almost 18 hours doing this for you people, and we've completed 57 deeds. And here's where we are in the upgrades chart. We are all the way up to level 11 as far as the big benchmarks, but the littler ones, not so much. So missing out on some more food supplies may slow down our climbing of that chart. But let's go ahead and get into it. I've already come up with a name to honor one of my favorite authors. We're going to call this Pork Morank. With an H. There you go. Pork Morank. Now, there is no way to see the name of a settlement while you're in the settlement. That's fine. Now, we know that I'm going to choose the larger caravan, obviously, the one with 9. The fact that it has beavers in it has absolutely nothing to do with this decision at all, I promise. Pinky swear. Anyway, we have 4 points to choose from, and I'm going to go ahead and take oil. Let's go. Now, the reason I take oil is there's a lot of early glades that can be solved with oil, so it's a good idea to have it, especially when you get to the higher difficulties, so you can just pop open a glade and solve it immediately to give you more space and more resources. Let's see what our mysteries are. Okay, all resource nodes discovered during drizzle season have more charges. So small deposits get a little bit and large deposits get a lot more. Good to know. So we want to pop open glades during drizzle for extra stuff. There's our usual debuff. Once we get to hostility, oh geez, this is going to be a mess. Not for this one, some of the other ones. So for this one, we need food, or people get double hunger. They get hungry a lot faster, which makes them unhappy, and then they leave. We don't want that, so that's no good. We've got Cloudburst. Oh, really? We've got so many annoying ones in the same game. This is going to be rough. We get 1 coat for every villager, or we get a massive resolve penalty applied globally. On top of that, we need 5 amber times the number of years that we've played, or we're going to get much faster impatience growth. This can kill a run. I have seen this kill games before repeatedly, especially since I like to play slower, longer games. This could be a problem. And then finally, Grim Fate. People just die. If you get to Hostility 7, people just automatically die. They're just dead. There's nothing I can do about that. So that is very annoying. Now, of course, in the Cursed Royal Woodlands, all of the glades are the same size. You don't have any warnings. Some of these are safe, some of them are not. And in addition to your usual hazards, there are ghosts of various difficulties in here. Some of those ghosts are going to be relatively harmless, and some of them will give us further penalties if we don't solve them. Chat says, hate it when you just get a crap deal. Yeah. Yep, this game is a bit RNG, and that is part of the challenge, is the RNG. Like, that's what makes it an Iron Man run. This was kind of inspired by Grand Pooh Bear's Iron Bros challenge, in which he's trying to beat 50 levels of Mario Maker on normal without dying. And the RNG is what's killing it. Like, the levels aren't hard. They're on normal, which means they've got really, really high clear rates. But just sometimes you get surprised by something, or someone puts in a troll that's easily avoided on a follow-up run. But, you know, it still surprises him enough that it takes him out. So we're going to run into similar issues here. Should have prayed to RNGesus before the stream, man. Yes, I should have. RNGesus, he rolled a dice for my sins. Okay, so we brought oil, right? And we definitely do not want to be burning it, along with coal. We want that coal to solve other glade events. And we only get those bonus resources if we open up glades during drizzle. So I'm going to go ahead and give permission to open up this glade immediately. And in fact, we are going to double stack our workers on it. I should probably also look at buildings, eh? Okay, so lumbermill and carpenter are both excellent for getting planks. The advantage to the carpenter is that it also gives us tools, which is very nice, as opposed to one-star scrolls. And I don't care so much about the pack of goods. I usually avoid taking orders that'll cause those. Leatherworker is nice because it's a meat building, which means that lizards working in the leatherworker have a bonus 10% chance of double production. Fantastic. On the other hand, I don't need that much fabric as of right now. I will eventually, right, because we need the coats for Cloudburst. But we don't know if we're going to get it. So I'm going to go ahead and take that carpenter. I'm ignoring the forester's hut for now because I really want to get basic building materials before I start thinking about tool production. Okay. Now, because I took the carpenter, I've got access to tools. When I said tool production, I meant that the crystallized do, obviously, no tool production. So this is kind of this is already equal to what I can get in the carpenter, so I don't need the simple tools from the Jennifer. Training gear is good for lizards, and packs of building materials crop up in a lot of different orders. But I'd never need enough building materials to really make a dedicated building worth it. So I'm looking at camps. And because I have lizards, I'm going to go for a trapper's camp and hope it's useful. Okay. So provisions are huge for trade routes. Flour is good for baked goods, and I really like getting baked goods. I don't have anything that I could possibly turn into flour, but the provisioner, I never regret getting the provisioner. The smelter would require us to have copper mines, and I don't think you can get those in Cursed Royal Woodlands. And the smokehouse is good, but it's only good because of the jerky for lizards, which requires us to have meat coming in, which I don't even know if that's going to happen. So I'm going to eliminate the smokehouse and the smelter. The weaver, of course, gives us basic building materials, which I love getting early. Packs of trade goods are nice if I need them. They're not as good as the provisioner. You know what? I'm gonna need fabric, and having very efficient fabric seems good. Hey! Hello, chat. Another person in chat saying, I do prefer 222 buildings over 311. Yes, I agree. Because, I mean, even if you're just counting stars, that's 6 stars over 5. And it's consistently better. I 100% agree. Now, of course, this is not a kind of biome where I'm going to try to do squared walls. The trees are too scraggly and loopy for me to really get a nice straight edge, just because of the way they're drawn. So that means that I'm going to set all of my camps to avoiding glades except marked, where if they don't have any marked trees, they're just going to cut whatever they feel like. Okay. Okay, so gain 2 amber for every 6 packs of trade goods produced. I don't like making trade goods. Get free jerky when we make pie. I love that. But get free provisions if I make herbs. Love that too. I think I'm going to go with Sahilda's Secret Cookbook. I normally would go for leftover crops, but I'm going to go for the Secret Cookbook here. Because I don't think it's bad. I think it should work fine. Okay, we've opened our first glade, giving us access to a flax field, so it's going to be important for me to build. Did I already get a Forger's Camp queued up? I sure did. And so that's going to cover this wheat here. And we will want a Harvester's Camp up in this way. And now since this did not have anything dangerous to do, I'm actually going to bring both of these over here. And pop open this glade. We're fishing for another dangerous glade. Well, complete 2 dangerous glades to give us some bonus coal, which is nice. Wildfire essence, which lets us build more hearts. Love that. And +1 copper ore production. I don't know how much we're going to be able to get copper. +1 copper ore production is massive in the Scarlet Orchard or anywhere where you know you're going to get mines. It's not so great if you don't, because here I think I can only get it from clay deposits. The guild. Make my beavers happy. Love making beavers happy. Get free beavers, get some food, and get 3 parts. I've got a good backlog of parts. This becomes a lot better once we get into the prestige debuff that increases all building costs by 50%, because then you go through parts like crazy. I'm going to go with TikTok here, just because I love TikTok. Not the app. I don't use the app. I'm too old for that. Let's see here. We've got Lizard Resolve gets us more lizards, some meat, and parts. Okay. Lizards, people plus food plus parts is a really great combination. Rather than having to spend 10 bricks, and I don't have an efficient way of making bricks right now, to just get the ability to make fewer bricks, honestly, plus some... No, we're going to go with the clan. Okay, have 15 copper ore gives us additional copper bar production, which could be good, plus some tools and some coal. But I'm going to go with Lost in the Woods, because these flat +1 bonuses to production from goods you can harvest ends up being powerful for an economy. Those stack up a lot, especially since we already have clay. Okay, we've opened up another glade, and this is going to give us a spot for a trapper's camp finally. And what does this ghost want? We didn't have a ghost up here. We just have a ghost here. So, if we don't do anything within 30 minutes, he's fine. He just goes away. Great. To solve him, oil would work. Oh, wait, no. He wants to sacrifice oil and coal, which means I need more coal somehow. And we can do this with Spark Dew. So we definitely want to do that with Spark Dew, because Spark Dew is basically free. Like, I just need someone to work it. I don't need anything else. So that's lovely. Now I could probably open a third camp, or not camp, a third glade. But at this point, I'm feeling pretty happy with having opened 2 in year 1. So instead, we are just going to put our camps on opposite sides, and actually, in the interest of efficiency, I'll face you into the trees. I'm going to swap these two. And we are going to try to cut out more space for our initial settlement. Let's go ahead and build ourselves a nice crude workstation. Okay. So having gotten a crude workstation, I can't really do anything up here with that. I could be making some basic housing. I don't feel the need to, because these 2 spaces are pretty, how do we say? They're pretty imperturbable. They're very hard to. I'm thinking of phlegmatic, but I don't know how many of any of my viewers are familiar with the four Greek humors that were the basis of medicinal thought in Europe for a while, and that the balancing of those humors determines people's personality. There's been a lot of fun descriptions and theories and systems for understanding people that predate our current understandings in the field of psychology. Like, we've been trying to make sense of each other as a species basically forever, like as long as we've had people. It is really wild what people have come up with over the centuries. So, year one, we have cut out into 2 glades. We have built a couple of camps to give us places to harvest stuff. We have started collecting food, which I generally don't do till year 2, but I felt like I was fine doing early. Now, yeah, okay, so the lizards do have negative, right? But it's not extremely negative, and lizards lose their resolve very, very slowly. So it is ticking down. Like, you can see it's ticking down. But we're halfway through the storm. They're not even in the red yet. Which is why I felt completely comfortable not housing anybody. Like, look at that. Now it's red, and we got 20 seconds left out of 2 minutes. And boop. That's year 1 completed. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab humans. One of which we're immediately going to toss in the hearth to slow the queen's impatience. So, if I've got a lizard here, we've got +1 resolve to everybody, and the queen's impatience grows at 0.22 per minute, with a cap of, what is that, 14? I didn't count. But if we swap it to a human, that 0.22 becomes 0.16, giving us quite a lot more time. Okay, beavers like education, so having educated beavers would increase production speed by quite a bit. This is solid. But I think we all know I'm going to go with the don't reduce consumption and instead get plus 10% chance of getting double yields. I love double yields. Double yields are just a great way to boost your economy through the sky. We're going to go ahead and pop this over here. Pop this over here. Swap you out for a beaver. Nope, still lizard because I took humans. And we're going to open up this glade. I'm leaving a couple people unemployed on purpose, and we're doing that in case this is a hostile glade, so I can immediately set about dealing with the glade. Other thing I want to do is I'll probably delete and rebuild this later, but I do want to get myself a trading post. Another calm glade. Okay, we've got some farmland, but I don't have anything to put on that farmland. Good to know, though. And we can get another lizard and another beaver in exchange for some insects, so let's do that. Now I'm once again going to immediately take these 2 camps. I'm going to go up here and pop open a second glade. I'm still looking for a dangerous glade, but I do not want to open up more than 2 glades a year. Even non-dangerous glades do increase hostility. Next set of orders. Okay. Standing level 1 with 2 settlements on trade routes. This is super easy to do, and getting 20 amber plus 5 parts is pretty big. Alternately do 5 trade routes and sell goods worth 15. This is also pretty easy to do. I don't really love leatherworking. Free bricks is nice, and this is less amber. So let's go with making connections. Ancient artifacts gives +1 production of all goods. Love that. 2 random people and 20 amber. Love that too. But this gives us +3 lizard resolve, and I actually have an order that says lizard resolve, and 10 provisions is not hard to get. So that's what we're going to go with. Okay, and we've got a lot of loose workers that I'm going to want to assign to stuff. But first, let's talk to Jorg and see what he has. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but I'm going to pronounce it Jorg because I like it. Okay, so I want this 17 because we've got humans and we've got access to farmland that I'm not using. Farmland is how you set up a stable infrastructure. Now I would love the ranch too, because the ranch would give us a consistent source of meat and eggs and of course leather for making fabric. But we can't do that until we have the plantation. The plantation will give us access to plant fiber, just continuous every year plant fiber, which is why I'm willing to sell all of my plant fiber to get it. I'm also willing to sell my leftover bricks, as well as, you know what, let's just sell everything. Just everything. Wow. My rule is generally never sell parts, but I think I kind of have to in this case if I want the plantation, and I desperately want the plantation. Let's not sell as many insects. That's as close as I can get. Trade. Boom. Okay. So that does heavily cause problems with our food chain. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a human in a small forager's camp. Boom, boom. And that is going to give us access to another type of food right away. Let's go ahead and put 2 lizards collecting this clay. And again, I'm leaving 2 people. Oh, no, let's swap out you for a beaver. I'm leaving 2 people unemployed in case. Not a dangerous glade. Okay. So, Sparkdew, and you want me to fulfill religion within 45 minutes. Well, I got 2 people who like religion. That is a good thing to know. We've opened up enough glades, but we don't have any ruins I can rebuild. That's fine. So at this point, what I'm going to do... we want this. We're going to do a carpenter facing that way, and a weaver facing this way. 1, 2, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say we want a blight post here. Sounds good. I'm going to move this up this way and just let him cut whatever, and that should be solid. Wait, did you have oil? No. No, you didn't have any fuel. Okay. I was checking to see if we could possibly satisfy this ghost this year, but we cannot, so it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and put in 2 lizards, and we're going to say we want a cap. This needs 5 and 2, and this needs 8. So we are going to say we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So what we're doing there is we're telling it we want to have just enough to make this carpenter, and that's it. And then once we make the carpenter, we are going to use the carpenter to make the wood for the weaver. And then once we have the weaver, we're going to just use the screwed workstation for bricks. That is currently the plan. There's not much else we can do until that happens. I do have people consistently working on getting us food. Hey, there is a reason to get an herbalist camp built. Right here. And I believe that's everything. We've got a stonecutter's camp. We've got a harvester's camp. We've got a small forager's camp. We have a small herbalist camp queued, and we've got a trapper's camp there. So that is one of every camp. We have plenty of parts to do it. That's just beautiful. It gets so much harder once the cost of buildings goes up. Because the thing is, it rounds, right? So if you've got a building like, say, the rain collector, which takes 1 parts, well, 1.5 parts gets rounded up to 2 parts, and then you're strapped for parts. Not to mention the camps that normally have, 3, that gets rounded up to 4.5, which goes all the way up to 5. So you end up having very, very few parts to deal with. How we doing, guys? Okay. I think we should be set on planks. Now, I don't really want to deal with hostility 2 because lizards are going to get super unhappy. So I am actually going to go ahead and fire this lizard, this beaver, and this beaver. Doesn't quite get us low enough. And the lizards are getting unhappy immediately this time. Okay. Well, I'm guessing that means we should probably do something about it, yeah? So let's go ahead and fire all 3 of these. And let's see, that's 14. Which means if I put 1 back, we'll be at 38. Perfect. And then if I burn 1 of those, we're down to 0. Which will keep our lizards happy throughout. This no longer does planks. Excellent. And as much as I would love to make this a beaver, in the interests of just not having to change, not having to worry about changing things when we get to the drizzle, I'm going to go ahead and throw 1 lizard in there making planks. And you no longer make fabric either. So we're going to get rid of this, and this, and this. The reason we're not making fabric is that this takes 8 planks to build. So I can just wait and get more efficient planking. Or not planking, more efficient fabric. I'm a little concerned that we are in year 2, and I don't know where the dangerous glades are, and I've kind of extended myself pretty far. But what we're going to do is we are just going to go ahead and try to pop open 1 glade now. Take the one with beavers in it so I can finish this. And now that we definitely have beavers, get out of there, my man. We're going to put a beaver in your place. Okay. Ooh, bonus hostility or negative hostility for hub upgrades. I love upgrading hubs, so Safe Haven is great. Grain production increasing by 1 is good if I get a small farm. Gaining 2 packs of provisions for every 10 herbs produced can be really good for the trade routes that I need to do. But I think I'm going to go with Safe Haven, because lowering hostility is good, especially when I'm dealing with a potential grim fate, which will just kill my villagers. Of course, lizards are super unhappy at this point, and I really, really need to fix that. So as much as I do not like doing this, that's 18. 10, 18. Okay, perfect. And of course, no village is complete without a comforting tower. Now on top of that, I'm actually going to fire these guys. And have them focus on building the town along with everyone else. That lowered hostility, so the lizards are happy right now. And then we're building housing, which will give everyone a +3. Trapper's deposits, okay. This is now worthless for food, which is why we need to keep going into new camps. Or into new glades, right? And since we don't have harpies, harpies get a bonus for working the herbalism camp. But since we don't have them, it doesn't matter who works the herbalism camp, so I can just throw those guys up there getting some food. And now I think I can justify putting these guys back on the wood chopping. Okay, this clay deposit is out, but there's more clay over here. We're definitely going to be able to make lizard housing pretty soon, which is why I didn't want to have to do that. Lizard housing, of course, takes cloth and bricks, and we have a ton of clay, that we are turning into bricks already. We just haven't set up our cloth infrastructure yet. It's coming. It's just not there yet. You have all the bricks that I told you to get. That's great. It's phenomenal. I love that. I know it might sound like I'm being sarcastic, but I actually do love that. Yep, we'll do this. We'll queue that up. And we're going to farm field that. And this. And another safe glade. Seriously? Okay, well, on the upside... There's more insects up here. And, you know, I'm actually thinking I want to turn insects into money. I don't really want more people at this point, because I don't have a solid food infrastructure going. Workers would be nice, but we are, you know, very slowly expanding. Next set of orders. 15 harmony decorations, or 15 aesthetics decorations. Now, aesthetics decorations are cheaper, they just need planks. And I've got an efficient way to make planks. This gives us one-time infusion of biscuits. It gives us more packs, which is good for trade routes. And wildfire essence for hearths, which matters a lot when I get a lot of people. Alternate, just getting a flat production to berries is pretty big. Getting an infusion of crystallized dew will let me make tools in that. Will let me get an initial pack of tools out of the carpenter. And amber is lovely. So let's go ahead and do the aesthetics. We're setting level 2 with 2 settlements on trade routes. We already have to get level 1 anyway. For amber tools and water skins I don't care about. Faster packs I don't love. Barrels are nice, but they're not great. A one-time infusion of biscuits. Let's go with good friends. And of course, I should get a plantation. Okay. You do not have oil or coal. And you wanted me to fulfill religion. You do, however, have tools. Unfortunately, there's nothing I have that I really can afford to sell right now. Everything that I have I kind of need. And none of these are particularly great. Like, I could buy some planks to just let me make a building sooner, but it's not like I'm not going to be able to make that building in the near future anyway. Faster building construction is okay. I don't love any of this. So we're just going to let Old Farlift go away. Meanwhile, we've got our one beaver steadfastly making planks. But now we have enough to make a weaver. That's great. Let's go ahead and just neaten up the edges of our town right now. So now we've got a weaver. And as soon as these guys are done, I'm going to put one of them in the weaver to start making fabric, and the other one in here to start making blight fuel. There we go. Now I put a cap on that because I want to make sure I always have fuel for the main fire and wood for planks. So putting a cap there just makes sure that we don't use all of our logs on Blightfighter fuel, especially when I only have like 2 cysts, which won't be enough to fully corrupt the hearth, not yet anyway. So we've got a pretty solid set of employment here. Now, of course, oh, I didn't get it in time. This is why vassal tax is so rough, is because I forget that I need to lower hostility, and then it causes problems. Plus, I missed Cloudburst. Oh my word. Okay. Just inattention. That's the thing with these ones. They feel like inattention can kill my run, which is really, really annoying. Like, I am burning way more wood than I should have to because I ignored Cloudburst, and now we're going to have a much more tense game because I ignored Vassal Tax. It's just going to be a problem that we have to deal with. And we still haven't found any dangerous glades for me to knock out those first couple of things. But you know what? That's what this game's about. It's about adapting to what you do. So we are just going to have to remember and not get hit with those penalties again, because they are very harsh penalties. Like, we lost a lot of wood on that. Ooh, okay. 3 barrels for planks is the best way to get any kind of container for wine or ale. The protected trade lowers hostility, and that is massive, but so is Smuggler's Visit, which lets you just get a free any blueprint. A free any blueprint is huge. You know what? Let's go with protected trade. I definitely will have to be doing trade in the near future anyway. So let's do it. Do I want a pile of lizards? I think I'd rather have a pile of beavers than a pile of lizards. For one thing, I can turn on simple tools. For another, we can make planks. And let's put 2 humans in here and run a road to them. Perfect. Okay. Now we do have some unhoused people. We're gonna kind of have food issues, and I need to find a dangerous glade. But and the Queen's impatience is growing faster. Yes, so we're in trouble. I'm not gonna lie. This is not a great spot to be in. But there are a few things that we can do. For example, now that I've got an influx of planks, I can make beaver-specific housing. If only you had an observant chat to remind you of such things. Yes, thank you. So chat, if you want to start yelling in the chat that I'm about to hit the storm when we're about here, because there's a little bit of a delay on the broadcast, so I don't know how to turn it off. If I'm like halfway through clearance is the right time to tell me, so I'll see it just before the storm comes up. It'd be great if chat wanted to get involved in my success like that. Let's go ahead and put more beaver houses. And we don't just need housing for beavers, we also need some hashtag lodging for lizards. I was very proud of that. It took me, I was brainstorming it for like 10 minutes earlier today. And I came up with lodging for lizards. Housing for harpies would have made a lot of sense, so would housing for humans. I don't know really how it became housing for beavers. But that's what the meme was. So that is what we're stuck with. I mean, we're not stuck with it. I could change it at any point. I'm just not gonna. Okay, so where are we at? So like this is where you would start telling me, but I'm aware of it now. I'm very aware of the progression of time, having gotten nailed with the penalties once already, and not having made any progress on any of our orders this year. New clothes. Well, we're gonna have to do this anyway as part of Cloudburst, so let's do it. I should also get a makeshift post up. Bliss Greybone. Hey, buddy. Okay, so you'll just sell me lowering hostility. That's pretty good. And... So, our ideal... Oh, that's really great, too. Okay. So first off, let's go ahead and sell something like 23 planks. 23 planks should be fine. I'm also going to sell 25 fabric because we've got a ton of fabric. That's good. And I'm going to sell all of my copper ore because I don't have anything that lets me use copper ore yet. And then we're going to sell, I think, 6 oil. Okay. So that would let me get the kiln. And the kiln is huge because the kiln lets me turn wood into coal, which is a much more efficient fuel source, but it also gives me more efficient bricks. And then jerky is, of course, nice. Lizards and humans eat that. So this would be good. Actually, all 3 of these would be amazing. But if possible, 1, 2, 3, 4, we'd want to get this so that I could also afford the Ways of the Forest. I'd rather lower hostility than get bonus plank production. Plank production is good, but lowered hostility is going to be better in the long run. And to that end, I'm going to sell all of my coal. And I'm even going to sell some purging fire. No, I'm going to sell some bricks. We're about to get more efficient brick making. I'll sell some of my purging fire too. Sure. Not all of it. I need some of that. And I need my oil. I'll sell all my planks. Still not enough. I'll sell all my fabric. Okay. Yep, that's what we're going with. So that's going to let us get this and this. It also lowered hostility a bit. So we have lowered hostility, and we have... Oof, bricks are... we're going to have a problem when it comes to fuel. But you know what? Let's go ahead and turn off plank production right now. Do I have any parts? I do not have any parts. Okay, that's fine. But we do have some wood. And we are going to leave... We're going to leave you as is for now. But the kiln, I think, is that same size. Yeah. I can't afford to move that. I can't really afford to make a kiln. So let's see. How much do we need for the kiln? We need 4 bricks. We're going to make 2 bricks. There we go. Okay. I've got 35 seconds. Okay. Oh, hey, the queen got impatient. Now we're at hostility 2. That's great. That's fantastic. That gives us a lot more time. That's phenomenal. Okay. Love that. Queen's impatience coming in clutch. Okay, so let's... Oh, we never stocked you with a second human? Let's go ahead and do that now. And then I think I want a kiln here. Let's go ahead and slide this over to the same side. Like so. Looks great to me, boss. I can keep my beavers doing their thing. We can build another road here. And you know, I probably Should actually clear up this area for more housing. Okay. What if I deleted this, right? And moved these here. Little road. There's a nice little road on that side. And then, how much space do I have? Ah, plenty. We will put fences. Like so. Love that. Okay, you no longer make bricks. You no longer make anything. Get out. We're going to delete this building entirely. Because now I have a kiln, and in that kiln, it's a warm building, so I can throw a lizard there. We can tell him to make as much coal as he wants, and also make bricks, but only out of clay. That's beautiful. We're not going to make any jerky. We can make jerky, but only out of coal. There we go. Okay, let's get some more people. Now we've got 23 people currently. I'm going to go ahead and get us... This looks nice. Now, ideally, I'd find some way of getting parts, but, you know, what can you do? Free pigment when we get insects, free provisions when we get herbs, or free villagers. Let's go with the free provisions. It's offered me this like 3 times. I think the game's trying to tell me something. Especially since there are herbs over here that I haven't been collecting yet. We're going to subsist on berries. Like, that's just how our town's going to operate. It's going to subsist on berries. Okay, so what can we be doing? We can be building lizard housing. And that should upgrade this all the way to... Oh, right, those are parks. Huh. That's... Well, not what I intended to do, but it should work. Because what I can do now is, I guess... I think flower beds? Do flower beds sound nice? Flower beds sound nice to me, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to delete this, and we're going to put a row of flower beds right there, and let's toss 2 beavers in here. We have all of the comfort decorations that we're going to need for this town. It caps out at 16, so that's great. And this flower bed is going to kick us up to tier 2, so that increases production speed. You know, I should have thought about opening up another glade, but I didn't. So, that's where we're at. And then we can swoop you around to this side. And we can do that. And this. So, with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... That's enough housing for 16. Pretty great. Okay. Rate 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2. Yeah, that's 16. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I should have some packs of provisions now. I do, so let's take a look at trade routes. You want plant fiber. Absolutely, I want to sell you plant fiber. Anybody else want plant fiber? No. Okay. You want cloth, though, and that's pretty solid. I don't have quite enough provisions, but we will soon. Part of what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in here, and we're going to say make packs of provisions out of herbs. Meanwhile, we need roads. We need roads. We need roads. What are you looking at? We are looking at, we need a service building, which I do not have, and 4 of the final type of decoration, which I believe are harmony? Yeah, they're harmony. Okay. Where do I want to put 4 harmonies? You know, I like the idea of doing this. So we're going to do that. That works. Flower beds always sound nicer than they are, not nearly as comfortable to lie down in. That's a very good observation, chat. You're right. Flowers do not make good. They don't give you much support is the problem, I think. We're only at hostility. How are we still only at hostility 2? Did I lose this ghost? I lost that ghost. I'm probably going to lose this ghost too, honestly. So I've got 10 minutes to provide religion and no religion building. But we're still at hostility 2, which is great. We have a bunch of lizards that are happy, so I can turn in that order. I'm not going to turn it in during the storm, because if I turn in the storm, I'm going to get more people, and then it's going to lower the queen's impatience, and that's going to raise hostility level, and then I have to deal with both vassal tax and cloudburst, which is going to be a problem. So let's go with leisure. Let's go with leisure. Did any of these orders give me parts? Yes, this one gives me parts. That's great. Because that's going to let me open up another woodcutter's camp. Phenomenal. Small Forager's Camp has finally finished that area, so we're going to move it up here, where I can start getting this swamp grass, or swamp wheat, I should say. I've got a decent amount of planks, so at this point I'm actually going to fire a beaver. And where can I get... Well, I've got beavers working in Herbalist Camp. I don't think we need that. We have 6 packs of provisions. That's fine, we'll leave that alone. That sounds good. Stonecutter's Camp has no deposits nearby. Okay. What else can we have you do? Anything? No? Wonderful. So we'll just pop you here, get 2 more free dudes. And look, we finally have that coal that we needed for the first ghost. That's fun. Okay, a couple of things. First, let's look at this. Bonus wood production, but harvesting and planting is slower. I don't love that. Glade event working speed goes up, but resources burn faster. I love this. Working glade events faster is very good for safety. Yes, I sacrifice things faster, but you know what? I'm not so worried about that right now. I'm going to go with this, and the reason I'm going with that is because I'm also going to turn in this, which will give me more beavers. Also more parts, which is great. We are going to take this woodcutter's camp. We are going to move it up here. We're going to pop open this glade. We're going to take a look at our new building. First off, before I do that, we're going to take a look at Zorg. He does not have any blueprints. The reason I want to do it that way is because once he showed up, his blueprints are locked in. Okay, the small farm would be good. So would the market, though. Now, the market just gives us access to luxury. Cleanliness doesn't do anything. Market carts lets us carry more stuff. But I want the small farm, I think. We're actually going to get out of here. You're fired. We're going to delete this. We're going to make a small farm. Okay. Now let's talk to you. You have a bunch of food. I've got enough food reserves that I'm not really worried about it. So he's mostly just got food, and then we've got upgrades. Making food faster is nice. Bonus production is always good. It's year 6. I think the most important thing is making sure... I think the most important thing is making sure that I can pay vassal tax. There's a couple of ways I can do that. So, first off, I can buy herbs. And we can say we want 29 of this. That's a lot. But we can grow plant fiber, so I can sell like 55 of this. And we're making fabric way faster than we can use it, so I'm going to sell 36 of this. And that will give us quite a lot of money. Not everything I want, but quite a lot of it. I can sell the copper ore. I don't have anything I can use that for yet. I'm willing to sell, since I'm about to double my wood production, or not double, I'm about to increase my wood production significantly. I am willing to do that. You know, I've got 6 provisions already. No, but I don't want to put myself too far behind, and I definitely do not want to sell clay. We're going to need a bunch of bricks with both human and lizard houses, plus specialized buildings. Need that too. Okay, what if I just don't do this? Okay. What if I sold my tools? Like 5 tools doesn't do anything for me right now. And then if I sold some broccoli? Sorry, vegetables. It's not officially broccoli. That works. Okay. And then that's going to let me increase my plant fiber production, but also my food production speed. I love that. Okay, that's phenomenal. That's great. Okay. Now I have 3 loose beavers, 4 loose humans. Oh, this is 10 times 2, plus I forgot these. Yeah, okay. And then if I do... We're just going to very much overpopulate this town, but that is fine. Better to give people houses than to worry about it. Okay? And then what we're going to do is start a second one. Here would fit very nicely with my usual... You know what? It fits my usual aesthetics. And then we'll just have to put a farm next to it. It should be okay. Give us some humans. Give us some beavers in here. Doing great. Doing great. Love that. Now, if you guys could open this, that'd be wonderful. Trapper's Camp has no deposits nearby. Okay. So we will bring you here. Okay, we've got a dangerous glade. We have a dangerous glade, people. This is great. Okay. Let's do this with coal, I guess. And bonus resolve for opening caches. Or, plus a bunch of ancient tablets that we can sell. Plus some copper bars we can turn into tools. And bonus pottery. This is huge. 60 hostility every 60 seconds. Okay, or 20 amber and a point. And we are... You know what? Let's go ahead and go with the one that's better long term. Meanwhile, we're going to go here and turn berries into money. We're also going to go here. No, we're not. Because I've got a 10 packs of provisions. Oh, there we go. Let's turn in that order. Gives us lizards happiness, gives us some more parts. That's all great stuff. Okay, so Smithy's not great. The coats are good. The coats are real good. The ale, and we're gonna need... Okay, we need ale, right? Because I need ale. So let's go with the brewery. Like, if you've got something that puts you closer to a order, you kind of have to take it. We'll put it here, up against the blight post. And with all the people I've got working right now, like that's getting worked, this is getting worked. I might as well go work this. Let's see, what don't I have being worked? Caches. The blight post can definitely get some more people. Blight post can definitely get some more people. And let's raise this to 20 to make sure we have enough. Chet has been thinking over your alliteration conundrum, and I have to say that bungalows for beavers just doesn't have the same ring to it. Yeah. Yeah, hashtag housing for beavers works. I think lodging for lizards works nicely. I don't really know what to do for the other two, the harpies or humans. But you know. Let's go ahead and put a lizard in there, and we should start working on this area, shouldn't we? Like, we've got a whole other town up here we can develop. So let's take this woodcutter's camp and just slap it here. And let's go ahead and farm fields this. And we're going to face this right here. And we're going to add a warehouse right there. Bordellos for beavers. Okay. I see what you're doing. That's fun. Yeah, we're getting a ton of hostility from this Glade event, but it'll be solved soon. Sounds saucy. Yeah, it does. Really, really does. Okay, that cleared up a little bit more. If I put a farm, I think, here. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Flip this around to the side. Toss 2 humans on the farm. How we doing over here? Almost done? Almost done. Okay. So that's done. That's one dangerous glade. That's progress. That is definitely some progress right there. Let's go ahead and mark this tree. Now, of course, we are getting close to the storm, and we do not want to encounter vassal tax again. I think it'd be fine. I think I've got enough. No, I don't have enough amber. And I forgot to go back to trade routes. Let's see. Nope. 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 Hey, okay. Oh, I don't have nearly enough for that. Let's go ahead and sell 4. And 10. Cool. Okay. Did you guys finish? You did. That's great. I love that. Small herbalist camp has nothing nearby. Well, what can I do about that? There is... Oh, it's a small herbalist camp, so it can't get those mushrooms. Let's go ahead and pop it down here. Take out those beavers. Nothing. 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 I love that they show indicators of where the closest patch is for each camp. If you click on a camp, it's very good for finding deposits or things that you can do if you're not memorizing your map. Because these maps can get pretty big. Hey, that is a lot of flax. We're going to have so much plant fiber. Pork Morank runs on plant fiber. Okay. Now, it is obviously Hostility 4. That's way too high. We don't want to deal with the problems of Hostility 3. So we are going to fire a bunch of wood choppers there. We're going to come up here, and we are going to prep this glade for next season. And we're going to fire all these wood choppers. And then we're going to take these wood choppers, and we're going to put them here as well. And we're also going to fire them. And no, we don't have any wood, but we do have coal. And we should have enough coal to get us all the way through. Now, of course, I should probably change this to coal. But I don't really want to be making stuff out of... let's see, 20, 60 coal. I don't think they'll have enough time to run us out of coal before year end, so I think that should be okay. Now, beavers are unhappy, but that's fine. Like, I should be able to monkey around with favoring people to keep them satisfied through the rest of the season. We got rid of all our corruption. We do need a service building in there. And, of course, I need to be doing more trade routes, so I should be looking at trade routes. How many? Do I have any? I do. Awesome. Okay. Nice. So when this finishes, this should go up. You will buy clay. You'd also buy vegetables. Let's sell you vegetables. And let's sell you clay. It does now. The more you put into a trade route, the longer it takes for the trade route to complete, and the more money you get, which is very nice. But you get standing just for number of trade routes. So short trade routes that don't give you a lot of money is a great way to build standing, which is important when you have an order that requires you to increase standing. Alright, we've avoided taxes, and now that we're starting year 7, this seems like a good spot to break this town up. So if you did get this far in the video on YouTube, remember you can catch me live on twitch.tv/DreadCanary. I stream twice a week. Currently I'm looking at Mondays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. That seems to be a good schedule that doesn't get in the way of anything else in my life. It is subject to change. You can always follow me on Twitter. I am at GhostFinchMedia. GhostFinchMedia. Ghosts are kind of scary, like they inspire dread. Canaries are a kind of finch. And media because I don't just make videos. I do other stuff too. So at GhostFinchMedia is where you will get announcements whenever I go live and announcements on any of my other projects. I would appreciate it if you liked or subscribed, left comments of kinds of content you'd like to see me do in the future. Other similar games that I can check out, especially if they're available as free demos somewhere, because I'm not making money off of this, so that would be fun. I would just love to see some engagement over there. And of course, I do thank everyone who showed up on Twitch to talk to me live. The stream is always better when I've got people to bounce ideas off of. So I very much appreciate you being here. Regardless, have yourselves a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one.